Hello viewers, and welcome to another episode of Business Summit, where the small business is the big idea. My name is Eunice Peregrino-Dati. In this episode, we'll be looking at the Rural Enterprises Project. There's so many business development services interventions in Ghana geared to support micro, small, and medium enterprises. One of such interventions is the Rural Enterprises Project. We'll take a look at what the Rural Enterprises Project brings to the small business sector right after this short break. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We'd like to introduce our guest today before we'll start the ball rolling. And with me on my immediate right is Mr. Kwesi Attah-Antwi. He's the National Coordinator of the Rural Enterprises Project. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And right after him is the Honorable DCE of Kwahu, that's the Afram Plains. He is in the person of Charles Evans Apraku. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Mr. Attah-Antwi, you are the National Coordinator for the Rural Enterprises Project. Now tell us, what is the mandate of the project, the Rural Enterprises Project?
Thank you, Eunice. Before I continue with the mandate of the Rural Enterprises Project, let me give a bit of background to it.
Okay.
The Rural Enterprises Project actually was initiated in this country as far back as 1995 in only 2 districts. Indeed, it is one of the Ghana government's efforts to reduce poverty in our rural areas. Since 1995 up to the year 2002, we had the first phase of the project, which was implemented in a total number of 13 districts in Kwahu and Ashanti regions only, funded by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. And as I said, was implemented in 13 districts only. Due to its laudable achievements, by the year 2002, the government of Ghana again decided to expand the project to cover more districts in the country. And at that time, we had the International Fund for Agricultural Development again, with this time African Development Bank, coming up with a total amount of about $29 million to fund the second phase of the project, which began in the year 2003 and expanded into additional 53 districts, this time not in Kwahu and Ashanti regions alone, but in every region of the country. So we have 53 districts across country, together with the 13 old Phase 1 districts, where the Rural Enterprises Project is actively operating for now. Now, talking about
the mandate.
Yes, the mandate. As you are aware, in Ghana, we have about 60 to 70% people living in the rural areas. And we realize that the main business in the rural areas is subsistence agriculture. And therefore, for reasons that high seasonality, lack of rains, and whatever factors that are related to poor agricultural production, there's high incidence of poverty in our rural areas. This is why the government really conceived that there is a need to embark on some of activities to really reduce poverty. So the Rural Enterprises Project actually was conceived to alleviate poverty in our rural areas.
Honorable, I want to find out from you, how has your district been involved in this Rural Enterprises Project?
Thank you very much. I think, like the project coordinator has said, the REP has been one of the most viable ventures or viable government intervention that has come into our districts. Let me state that the REP has even 2 components. We have the RTF, that's a rural technology facility,
right,
and then the BAC, Business Advisory Centers. We have the BAC in 2004 and the REP in the RTF in 2007. We have actually benefited, like he rightly said. Initially people just live on government with maybe funds coming, they share, and then even paying back. I'm talking of poverty alleviation programs. But this one is empowering an individual to even expand and hook other people onto the program, and drastically is helping us in the district. The district assembly is in serious collaboration with the REP and other supporting agencies. Like I said, we have institutionalized this in these assemblies by the coming out with the SME subcommittees.
SME subcommittees under the assembly.
Under the assemblies.
Okay.
We have statutory committees, but with the REP coming into force, the assembly, various assemblies has now come out with the subcommittees to actually look at the SMEs and then come and incorporate this into assembly programs. So that is one contribution of assemblies. Secondly, the REP in my district, for example, REP and then the RTF have a total number of 14 staff. The NSSBI, NBSSI, and
National
then
Board for
Small
Scale
Scale Industries, and then the Gratis Foundation are catering for 5 of them, whilst the district assembly is taking care of the 9 in terms of salary payment and all those things.
Okay.
That is it. Then also with the coming out with the establishment of Department of Trade, Industry and Tourism in the district assemblies now, the BAC and then the RTF, that means the REP, are now championing that department for us in the district assemblies. And then also the district assembly common fund portion. Most of us have to support the programs. It's
part of your common fund.
Part of our common fund, and that's exactly what we are doing. We are supporting
So what percentage of the common fund are you providing?
Over there, there's no specific percentage, but depending on the particular assembly and the needs and the aspiration of the assembly, in conjunction with the REP, we give out money for that. But what we do is that every common fund that comes, we look at it and then give us some money for the running of the programs.
I want to go on a quick break. When I come back, we'll delve more into the services, and then we'll see if we can talk also about the benefits of these services to targeted populations or the beneficiaries. And then we can also see whether we can get one of your beneficiaries to also tell us their story from their perspective. We'll be right back after this break. Thank you for staying with us. Before we went on break, we were talking about the business development services intervention provided under the REP and how the NBSSI and the assemblies are facilitating this process. We've just had one of the clients of the REP join us. Her name is Sherifa Zekerie. She is from the Volta region and a client to the REP. We'll come to her in a bit, but we want to hear more from you, Ms. Attah-Antwi, about the services that you were talking about.
Yes, thank you. As I said, under the business development services, the business advisory centers have been set up to really facilitate the business development programs in all the districts. Under that, there's a lot of training activities ongoing. We have what is known as community-based training, and this is a skills development training in trades like soap making, batik tie and dye, manufacturing, pomade production, beekeeping, and others. Whereas that we brought some few items.
Yes, I can see some beautiful leather, pure leather slippers.
Exactly.
Liquid soap, batiks, and jewelry.
And I'm also wearing some batik, just to advertise. This is really what is happening in all the districts under the community-based training component. On top of that, they also organize small business management training to really get people into record keeping and bookkeeping and other management practices, and to also help people to expand their businesses as may be required. There's a lot of business counseling sessions also organized by the business advisory centers, and referral services. At this point, they are even supporting people into development of business plans and others to really bring businesses into the formal sector. This is what the business development services component is achieving. On top of that, we also have the technology promotion and support to apprenticeship training. This is the technology part of our project, where this time not NBSSI but gratis is also involved. And again, under tripartite arrangement with the district assemblies, we are setting up rural technology facilities. It's like the gratis ITTU, if you know the ITTU, now they call it.
But the viewers are not aware of it.
Yes, but it will come up. I'm sure we have pictures of it.
Okay.
And these are workshop, and the district chief executive talked about it, where we have machines, and these centers are technology transfer centers. We provide, production of agro-processing equipment to support farmers, storage facilities, and others. And then there's the support to master craftsmen. I mean, they have to enhance their technical base in their services. And the rural technology facilities are facilitating that. On top of the technology promotion services also, we provide startup kits to graduate apprentices. These are kits that we provide to apprentices who have graduated from their masters or mistresses and are unable to set up their own business and still hooked onto these masters perpetually. Okay. So the target of all this is employment generation, and we are having a very laudable impact on this kind of approach. So this is the technology services component also of the project. On top of that, we have the rural financial services. Mm-hmm. Under that, we have some credit fund managed by Bank of Ghana, which is disbursed through participating rural and community banks. Indeed, we have some commercial banks like Merchant Bank and others also joining. And they disburse credit to needy and demand-driven clients. The BACs and the RTFs train the clients in banking culture, the need for people to appreciate why they have to go for loans or otherwise, and at what cost. The issue of interest rates and others are all explained to them. So before any client goes for some kind of credit facility under our project, they know that one, they have to pay back, it must be productive, it must enhance or start some kind of businesses.
Okay. You have quite a range of services. You talked about the business training, skills development, you talked about the skills development as well. You've also mentioned the financing bit, which for me answers a lot of questions for a lot of micro and small enterprises. Now, how accessible are these? If I'm an entrepreneur or somebody who really is interested in developing employable skills, how do I access these services, and how realistic, are they? Are these? How can one access such services?
Thank you. As I've indicated, we have gone to the grassroots level. In every district, we have the Business Advisory Center. It's an office. We have provided them with resources, a vehicle, motorbikes, computers. They have a lot of funding resources from us as a project, from the district assembly where necessary, NBSSI where necessary, to reach out to the communities. So there's a lot of advertisement, sensitization to all the communities within particular districts where the project actually is taking place. But you see, it's not a supply-driven kind of approach. After all that, there must be the demand for particular services. So it's not like carrying beekeeping into a district or Batita and to train people in it in a particular district. No. After all the sensitization seminars, whatever, people put themselves together and moved into the Business Advisory Center or the RTF and say, this is what we want to go in. And then there's some commitment even shown by these clients. Commitment either in cash or in kind or in support for them to really indicate that we are ready for these services. So it's interesting to know that we really have a high adoption rate. We've trained so many people, at least between 50 to 60% are into some form of businesses, and I believe they are happy.
Good. So that's when Sherifa comes into this whole situation. Sherifa, so you have benefited from the Rural Enterprises Project.
Yes.
Tell us briefly, we don't have too much time.
Okay.
But how have you benefited from this, and how has that transformed your life?
Yeah. Formally, when I finished my apprenticeship, I'm under a shade. So,
You're a dressmaker?
Yes, I'm a dressmaker. I'm under a shade sewing with a manual machine that belongs to my auntie.
Okay.
When I heard of this BAC, I went to them and they told me who they are and what they do.
Okay.
And I also joined. I'm one of their clients.
Okay.
In 2007. So I got help in 2009. They gave me an electric machine and knitting machine.
Okay.
I was under the shade. By their help, today I'm able to be in my shop with my industrial machines, such as single sewing industrial machine and overlocking.
Which hitherto you did not have.
Yes.
But thanks to the REP, you now have all these industrial machines.
Yes.
And how has that changed your life?
Yes. So formally, I may say I don't have any help from anybody. So my life was not all that okay. But now I can see I'm also moving forward.
In the right direction?
Yes, in the right
You're
direction.
experiencing your better Ghana already?
Yes.
You look good.
Thank you.
Good.
So you realize that
Yes.
she did not refer to REP. That is the ownership aspect. Okay. You go to the district. When I enter her district, she wouldn't know me. She will know the BAC head or the RTF manager. That is, or the district chief executive. That is how REP has mainstreamed into the system.
To the district, to the local level. That's
to the local level.
We will have to be running quickly, but I want you to talk a bit about the success stories. Yeah, again, I can see some of the things that have been made from your projects or some of the IGAs. You want to talk a bit about how these things all come about as a result of successes emanating from your project?
Yes. So far, we have success stories at all levels. When we talk about institutional level, now REP is becoming a household word in at least all the districts that we are operating in. Indeed, NBSSI has gone ahead to establish a few more business advisory centers, waiting for a future support from REP. District assemblies are really in high, especially the non-participating districts. I mean, go to my desk and a lot of applications. How can we really rope in? So we have been able to create high demand for this kind of model, which hitherto was non-existent in this country. That is our number one achievement. And then policy is even being directed to really support it. I told you about the MSC subcommittees. Now a Department of Trade and Industry is being established at the local level, under the local government service, to really cater for what has been initiated by the Rural Enterprises Project. So this is something that we think about and we are happy. Apart from that, all the structures that we have put in place, the BACs, the rural technology facilities, you must be seeing them working very actively, like in Kwahu North. It's a wonderful piece of infrastructure that we have put into the country. When you come to the beneficiary client level, several people have really been trained, skills have been acquired, people's lives, like sister, has been enhanced. And we had our interim evaluation exercise very recently. If you want to go the next phase, there must be some study. And the results of it was really, really immense. Let me say that we were in a regional workshop. Regional means West and Central African workshop in Dakar some few weeks ago. And over 50 projects being supported by IFAD in West and Central Africa. We were among the best 6 in the entire region. And that, to me, is a very laudable achievement.
That's good. We hope that, people are really feeling the impact of these your projects in their pockets, in the lives of their families, and overall, hopefully, will affect the economy of this country. We will want to go off right now or in the next few minutes. But to Sherifa, what would you tell people like you who really need to grow their businesses, who want to move from being from nowhere to somewhere, as far as generating income for themselves and hopefully for their families is concerned? What quickly would you want to tell people who want to enhance their businesses from the micro and trying to grow them to the next level?
I will advise my colleagues who have not joined this BAC to join the BAC for their better future, because my life, I may say, it is good, and then as you can see it, I'm looking good.
Hello. Sherifa has testified that, as you can all see, she can feel the difference in her pocket through the support of the BACs, and that everybody who wants to enhance themselves in terms of generating incomes for themselves and their households to go and talk to the BACs. Your final word, Ms. Attah-Antwi, what else would you want to say that you haven't said so far, which will help people come to the take advantage of the REP? Not to forget the mention of your website, if you have one, so that people can contact you subsequently from here.
Yes, we have a website titled rep2.org. Anybody who just clicks on that. REP 2 as a figure .org. Or you just type Rural Enterprises Project, you'll be taken there. My last word is that there's a lot of potential in our rural areas for people to develop. And the Rural Enterprises Project intervention has really demonstrated that if we put in place the right intervention strategies, people's lives can change. And we urge all communities to really emulate, especially those who do not really have the benefit of REP for now. As I said, I know they are very eager, but they can also consult with their others, especially the ongoing participating districts, to learn very interesting lessons from what they do. And I believe the local economies in this country will really improve.
Thank you so much for coming. We just can't wait enough for you to scale up to 170 districts so that all and sundry can benefit from your activities. Thank you so much, viewers. I'm sure you've learned quite a lot about what the REP does and how you can access such services from the BACs at the local level. Thank you so much for watching Business Summit. We would want to give credit to our sponsors. We're talking about EDIF, that's the Export Development and Investment Fund, Mirage Royal Hotel, Mobilia Showroom, Business and Financial Times, Business Times Magazine, and Noco Fuel Systems. Thank you very much for watching Business Summit. See you again next week. Bye-bye.